Good morning, folks. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to One Sober to Another. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the daily reflections or any of the videos in Journey with me or any of the interviews that come along with that. All right, folks, total acceptance. Let's get it. He cannot picture a life without alcohol. Someday, he will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping off point. He will wish for the end. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 152. Only an alcoholic can understand the exact meaning of a statement like this one. The double standard that held me captive as an active alcoholic also filled me with terror and confusion. If I don't get a drink, I'm going to die. Compounded with, if I continue to drink, it's going to kill me. Both compulsive thoughts pushed me ever closer to the bottom. The bottom produced a total acceptance of my alcoholism, with no reservations whatsoever, and one that was absolutely essential to my recovery. It was a dilemma unlike anything I had ever faced. But as I found out later on, a necessary one if I was to succeed in the program. That is some deep stuff, folks. That is some deep stuff because total acceptance of my active alcoholism was a tough place to be. I was at the jumping off point myself, and that's almost in literal terms, folks. I remember, and I spoke about this not too long ago in a video, I remember being on the floor, covered in blood, still drinking, with this loud voice inside my head, and this loud voice was telling me, you give me more, or I'm gonna kill you. And the other inner voice telling me, if you drink any more, man, if you drink one more sip, it's gonna kill you. It's either this or that. And it was at that place and time that I was about 90% ready to go through the window, because I wanted the voices, both of them, just to shut up and leave me alone and let me figure this out and let me be at peace. There's no peace for an alcoholic like me when I'm trapped in my disease. There's none. There's only one voice that gets through, and that's the one that tells me, you gotta get more. I don't care what you do, you have to get more. And at the same time, the conundrum of if I'm gonna drink more or die, if I continue to drink, is completely baffling. And that's what makes alcoholism cunning, baffling, and powerful, is that we are powerless over alcohol, we the alcoholic, and that our life is unmanageable. And that's where, January lies, is step one in the book of Alcoholics Anonymous and how it works. This is very hard for me to talk about, folks, because this place that it describes, if you're new to sobriety or if you're not, and if you are thinking about getting sober or you're trying to decide if you're an alcoholic or not, if you have been in this place, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you do, folks, drop your comment below, because someone out there is thinking about either getting sober or trying to decide if this problem exists for them. Put your comment below so that they can get a little insight other than mine, because not many people even make it this far in the video. So put your comment below, okay? Thank you. Only an alcoholic can understand the exact meaning of the statement. That is 100% certain. And an addict can as well. I'm going to add that, because an addict and their disease and an alcoholic and their disease, those parts are similar, to where the control is completely by the substance, completely by the poison. Being at the jumping off place is something insane, and the insanity and the hamster wheel that goes on in the mind of an active alcoholic or an addict is something indescribable. The noises are indescribable, and the loneliness is also indescribable unless you've been there and experienced it. And I hope that you haven't. I really do, folks, because that is a place that is so small and huge at the same time. That is really as bleak as it gets. Both compulsive thoughts pushed me ever closer to the bottom that produced a total acceptance of my active alcoholism. When I was at that place, when I was at that dark corner of my life, and I was at that dark corner of my active disease, folks, my bottom did produce my total acceptance, and it did force me to look at the total factor that alcohol is no longer my solution. And I spoke about that a little bit yesterday. It's no longer the great big solution in the sky for me and the answer to everything that I need to know. Not doing what it's supposed to do or what I thought it should do. I guess it is doing what it's supposed to do. It's no longer the answer, and it's time. It's time to make that choice, folks. Either I am going to reach out for help and admit that I am powerless over alcohol and that my life is unmanageable, or I'm going to continue drinking and I will either be in the hospital, kill myself, kill somebody else, or be in jail. There's not many other options. Or just go bat poop crazy, because at the intensity of my disease, I was hallucinating on a normal basis. And some of you out there can understand that. And I was hearing things on a normal basis. So I had auditory and visual hallucinations all the time. Like all the time. I saw flashes of birds. I've seen people. I've heard voices and all this madness, everything else. And I'm not going to go too far into that because I'm not a doctor or scientist, counselor or anything like that. I'm just one sober person talking to another person. And so it was during those times that, my options were very small, and I seriously don't wish that on anybody. So once you reach a total acceptance, you are able to succeed. Rather, you are able to start developing a plan for recovery. And whether that be Alcoholics Anonymous or not, it is a step forward regardless. And some folks ask me, they're like, why don't you just have a beer, man? It's not going to hurt you. I'm like, contrary to popular belief, folks, a beer will probably kill me, because I'm not going to have just one. Like I said yesterday, I'm going to have the last one as well. And, I don't know. I do dumb crap. When I'm drunk, folks. And I'm sure nobody who's been super intoxicated said I did wonderful things and I planned out my future. I built a house, and, I studied electronics, and I, built a car and designed an engine, or, whatever. I don't remember the last person who said, I was so drunk, I did quantum physics, and I discovered the black hole was not a black hole, and on, right? People don't understand what alcoholism is like unless they've been there. And it's the same with addiction, folks. And for us to find total acceptance is to find the point where we can listen to our higher power, and we can hit that road of recovery, and we can go on our journey, and we can begin to heal from the inside out. Because that's what it is, folks. Once you find that healing point and you're able to look inward and you're able to come to the why factors of why you drink in the first place like you do. Because if you're a social drinker or a normal drinker and you have that one beer and you put it away and you put it down and you walk away smiling, my hat is off to you, folks. We don't hear things the same way. I, the alcoholic, and a normal drinker don't hear things the same way. Just have a beer is not the same way. And I don't know. That's just how I feel about today's daily reflection. I don't know if it helped or not. I think I just vented instead of giving you what you need, but maybe I did. Maybe I helped. I don't know. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. All right, folks. that's today's daily reflection. Before I go, I'm going to wrap it up with tonight at midnight, my time. I am doing an interview with Evan Flutter. Evan Flutter is an addict in recovery, and he was gracious enough to do a meeting with me, and I'm going to publish that on this channel tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1900, 7 o'clock my time, I have another meeting with Daniel from Veterans with Anxiety. You guys are awesome, and I'm also going to have that available as well as their links will be below. And you can hit up their channels and see more about them if you dig what they have to put out, folks. I'm one sober to another. Life's a garden. Dig it. I'm going to see you in the next one.